Okay, today is the second day of eating. Is that it? Yeah, second day of eating. It was a really good day. I mean, it was kind of an exceptionally good day in the respect that I got up early, like around 5:30, I guess, 5 o'clock. And I decided I was going to go over to the rec center and do a exercise and sauna, and I did. And when I got up, I needed something, for breakfast, and I made a smoothie. I had some frozen fruit, a banana, half a banana, some oat milk. I had some green juice that I added, and it was a really great smoothie to take with me. I had a little coffee. I took both with me to the rec center, and I did the elliptical for half an hour, did a little yoga, did a sauna, did a whirlpool. I saw my friend over there at the rec center. She's an early riser, and we just chatted a little bit. So nice to see her. And I came home, meditated, did Super Radiance with the group at home. We log in online at the same time. And then, let's see, what did I do after that? Well, this and that. And then I made a stir fry with sweet potato that I had already baked, tofu, and I baked those in the air fryer to make them a little crispy, which really worked. And I had frozen stir fry vegetables when I added the spices of onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt, pepper, and probably a little water, a little soy sauce, a little sriracha, and mixed it all together. And then I cooked a tortilla with it, like a plain tortilla. And boy, that was good. That was so good. But I didn't make a whole lot of it. I made just enough to be almost full. And I thought, well, what else do I need? So then I had half a banana, fresh blueberries and strawberry bowl, which I had yesterday. And that was really, for me to do that for dessert is like exceptional, that I'm eating fruit for dessert. That's really good. And then I what did I do? Yeah, I had to go to get my car taken care of. I had to get the windshield wiper fluid reserve replaced because it had a leak in it, and my my studded snow tires taken off. So I went over to the car place, but it took over an hour over there, and I was just sitting there. I had a Diet Coke, and I was just sitting there. I was listening to a good book, and as I was going home, I was thinking, what should I get to eat? Because I'm a little hungry. I thought, you have an apple in your handbag, which is like, break this glass in emergency kind of apple. And I had the apple, which is like, that's such progress for me, just to reach in and chomp down, chomp down on an apple, and I'm good. Because as soon as, I have that satisfaction of something in my stomach, because I have a very sharp hunger. It's part of my problem is I get very hungry and I feel like I really need something to eat. But once I have a little something, like an apple, I'm good and it's over. So then I went home, meditated, and before I meditated, I wanted to make tomato sauce, and I had a lot of tomatoes from my juicing that were left over. I didn't want them to go to waste, so I um, blanched about 6 tomatoes, so I could get the skins off of them. I got those off, and before I meditated, I put them on to simmer on low, so that I could get, some nice fresh tomatoes. I bought tomato sauce, plain tomato sauce, and a tube of tomato paste, which this woman on YouTube recommended, so that, how you open a can of tomato paste and then you have half a can of tomato paste you don't use, but I think it was one of the main brands had a tube of tomato paste, which I was so happy to find. I added like a couple tablespoons of that and some spices, and I had some of that Bloody Mary mix from my juice fast that I was afraid I wouldn't finish off, so I just poured that into the spaghetti sauce. And, once I finished meditating, I sauteed some onions, some mushrooms, some peppers, and then, mixed it all together and just let it simmer for quite a while. And I had gone to the store and gotten chickpea penne pasta, and I took a whole box of that, boiled it for like 7 minutes, strained it, and I had that cheese sauce left over, which is made with nutritional yeast. You boil a potato, a carrot, And what else do you use in that? I think you just use the water from the potato, as I recall. And I also put a pepper, like just a plain roasted pepper in a jar with no oil, and I added that to it. And put it in my I think I put it in my fast blender, and I had it in the refrigerator. It made a lot when I made it, and I just took layer of the penne pasta, put it in a Pyrex square dish. Then I put the cheese sauce on top of it, and then I put the tomato sauce on top of that, and some red pepper flakes, and I baked it in the oven for, I don't know, half an hour, or maybe not that much. And then I sauteed up I had a big bag of kale from my juicing, which I never juiced, and I didn't want the kale to go to waste, so I took some garlic and water in a nonstick pan and threw some kale in there. Boy, that cooked up good. It was a little, crispy and tasty. So I had a side of kale, and then I had this penne pasta. It was just non-fat, really good. And the chickpea, it's not a lot of wheat, so it's good pasta. Very enjoyable. And then afterwards, I was like thinking, I usually like to have a little something sweet after I eat. And I was thinking, boy, I'd love to have I had thought about it when I was at the store before. I'd love to get some chocolate chips. I was looking at the non-sugar, the Lily's chocolate chips. Well, I ended up getting another brand. Well, I went back to the store because I decided I was going to get stuff and make some healthy chocolate chip cookies with coconut, because I'd had that in my mind, and I got all the ingredients for it. It cost me $50 because there are certain ingredients that I didn't have, like flaxseed. I needed that to make the emulsified egg. I also saw xanthan gum, which is something you use when you're baking without oil, and it's just, you only use a quarter of a teaspoon of it, but it was $13. But the reality is I will have this for years. It's just I happen to be out. And also I got some brown sugar swerve, which I didn't even know that existed, but it does. And when you're making chocolate chip cookies, it's good to have that. And I had some, I think it's called Boca. It's like swerve, but it's made with something else. So I finished that off. I already had that. I had the coconut flakes, but I had to get this expensive brown sugar, which was $8. And what else? The semi-sweets were not that expensive. It was Enjoy Life. They were $4.50, and it was out of vanilla. I wanted to get whole wheat pastry flour, but they didn't have any. So I just got some whole wheat flour, and I combined it with half and half with white flour and then whole wheat flour, which is a good combination. And I didn't put any fat in it. What I did for fat was I took some applesauce and about a third of a banana, and I put it in the bullet, and blended it up, and it was nice and, it had that right consistency. And I had my flax egg, which I used. I used my sugar substitutes, so I had no oil. I had the sugar substitutes. I had the non-sugar chocolate chips. I had the coconut, which is, coconut flakes is not much. And baking soda, I think, salt, I had the vanilla, which I had to buy, and some oat milk. I believe I used oat milk, yes. And boy, they turned out good. They were nice and chewy and pretty light, and I think they'll actually get better as they age, But they came up perfectly. I made about 10 of them, and I had about 4 of them with some oat milk, and that was just hit the spot. It was, it's a little, it's chewy, it's a little sweet, but it's totally legal. And even though it cost me almost $50, it's like a lot of the stuff I got, I will use in other recipes, and I'll have for years, like the brown sugar swerve. I'm not going to use that, right up. And now I have it in my pantry. And that's one of the things that I remember from doing kind of substitute diets where you're, like a no fat, no sugar diet. You end up having to buy substitute stuff. Like I got some frozen apple juice for my freezer because I use frozen apple juice for a syrup. Oh, the other thing I found when I went shopping was they had a date barbecue sauce. It wasn't the date lady, it was somebody else, and it was much cheaper. It was only like $6. And hers, I think, was like $12.99, and it would be plus shipping. So I was so happy I saw that. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm sure it'd be great. So I'm really loving this diet. I'm not weighing myself because as long as I'm not going to weigh myself as long as I stay on track and I stay legal. Because what else can I do? I don't care how much I weigh. I mean, I do and I don't. It's like, but I don't have much control over it as long as I stick with the plan. So I have been sticking with the plan, and it was a really good day. And then Gary came over tonight, and I had some peppermint tea, which is perfect. And now I'm going to bed. It's almost 11 o'clock, and I have tomorrow to look forward to all these like really tasty things to eat, and I do love to eat. So that was my day 2 of eating in April of 2022, in between juice fasts.